Confidential with my buddy Ed.
Ed Robertson with a reminder that Emmy Award-winning writer-producer Joseph Doherty will join us at the top of the hour as we commemorate the 100th birthday of Rod Serling. We hope you'll stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're bringing you an encore presentation of a special edition of This Week in TV History, originally broadcast in November 2019, in which Tony Figueroa and I commemorated the death of Rico Kasich, the front man for the Cars. In September of that year, we also commemorated the then 35th, now 40th anniversary of the very first MTV Music Awards broadcast, and the first winner of the MTV Music Video of the Year, the video for You Might Think by the Cars. You might think the first music video to use computer graphics, and a significant video when it was first released in 1984 because it showed many people the possibilities of what computers can do in film and video production. Tony?
So to see these amazing computer effects, I am sure for people who worked in that field, a dozen questions, if not more, could be answered by, have you seen the Cars video?
Yeah.
It's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, later movies, you can see, that scene in The Terminator? It's kind of like that, or where you do it. But this was just like wow, not only was it the potential of the music video, it was just fun.
Yeah.
It was, because you had music videos that could be very touching. Some of them were like mini movies.
Exactly.
Some of them were more concert-oriented. Mike Nesmith from the Monkees the Monkees themselves get credit for so much of what we know now as the music video. And they were inspired by Hard Day's Night.
Mm-hmm.
But Mike Nesmith did wonderful videos that told a story.
I'm Flying to Rio.
Flying to Rio is a great example to see what you could do.
I think I will fly me to Rio.
Yeah. Using the music of flight.
Yeah.
And he also had one, the Pink Eldorado to the Moon.
Yeah.
Which also has a very similar, where you do have, kind of a story playing out, but a little bit of the fantasy and the daydreaming playing through there. But it was, more like a mini movie with the music. Mm-hmm. And I would say that there was a certain amount of stuff that our fathers would go, what the hell is that? And, our generation would try to explain what they were trying to do. But yeah, so you did have, let's call it the, what the hell is that?
Yes.
So you had many movies, and you had the concert video.
Yeah.
Basically it was a concert. Some of the early Springsteen stuff, that's what you saw. Mm-hmm. But this thing was just, it was a trip.
And it was all part of, making MTV and later VH1 reasons to watch those channels, because you're not just seeing videotape performances of songs. I mean, there's a lot of creative concept to make it television.
And but this was something, like I said, you watched it.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Some of these videos, and I remember seeing a lot of them at that time period. You saw, you may have seen it the first time and you think it's cool. But you're not going to give it your undivided attention again and again and again. And this is one that you would just stop what you're doing and you're watching it. And I've been in places now where they have MTV Classics mm-hmm. on. And guess what? That video comes on and people stop what they're doing to watch the video. I would say We Are the World would be an example where they stop because they're doing like a head count.
Exactly. Exactly.
But,
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. But, there some of the Michael Jackson's work, you would stop to watch.
Yeah.
And, those were more epic and as they went on, like Thriller, which was, that was more in an event. Mm-hmm. But this was really the first that had, all these cool visuals. The model looking into the mirror, and then he appears in the mirror. The model has a black and white photograph of her prom date, and he steps into the photograph and pushes him out of the way and assumes the position that the prom date had. She's taking a bath, and, kind of an Ernie Kovacs bit of a Periscope coming up. But then the band is floating on a bar of soap in, amongst all the bubble bath. And, or she opens the medicine cabinet and the band's on a shelf in the medicine. And it's just this really cool thing. But also, the timing of the Cars, I think, was really great because just a few years prior was the death of disco and the beginning of punk. So disco, I think, was on life support. Mm-hmm. It wasn't dead, but I remember in school, kids were wearing T-shirts that say "Disco sucks." Mm-hmm. It was not much longer. Punk rock was coming in, which was very harsh. Mm-hmm. And then I would say right around 1980, 79, breaking into 80, you had this thing called New Wave, which a lot of people were saying, this is not punk, even though you had, wild hairstyles and a certain look. And I think the Cars were really that nice mix of rock and new wave. And I think their signature look and style was just perfect for music. These were not musicians that would not have a career if it were not for the music video. I think there were bands that were basically, they look good on TV. Let's see, who cares how they sound? But these were the ones, their timing was perfect. You have somebody like a David Bowie also. He was ready for the music video 20 years ahead of time.
Exactly.
But you had that, and that had won the music video award. And I would also just say, personally, because we've talked about losing people that are larger than life individuals. There are certain people when they are gone, and we mentioned it in a segment just a while ago, where the world stops for a moment. The world could stop for a couple of days in some cases. Just like, what are we going to do with this person not around anymore? What's the world going to be like without so and so? Or you hit the brakes. And there are other people where it is sad that they are gone, but you can only... Aretha Franklin would be a wonderful example. When it was announced that she was gone, my first instinct was to go on YouTube and find that scene in the Blues Brothers where and I'm smiling, and then I go out for a haircut. I open the door, and that gust of AC hits me on a hot day. And it just hits me, and the first thing I am hearing is Freeway of Love. They had MTV on, and they were doing a tribute, but it was like I could not have timed it better. Yeah. I open the door, I get this nice, cool, refreshing breeze, and the first couple of beats of Freeway of Love is on MTV. And the woman behind the counter, she didn't even say, "Can I help you?" She knew that I had heard it. I made a gesture saying, "I need a moment," and she totally got it. And we are just watching the video for Freeway of Love. The whole thing plays out. When the video comes to an end, she says, "How can I help you?" And I mean, it was just like this communal moment that everyone just enjoyed it. And the only downtime I had was getting the haircut that day. So Donna and I were doing stuff. We were going full throttle. At the end of the day, we are in the bedroom, and Donna looks at the Amazon Echo, where you can hear TV Confidential,
yes.
Right?
Alexa, play TV Confidential.
Yes. Well, in this case, she said, "Alexa, play some Aretha Franklin." And Alexa said, "Shuffling Aretha Franklin." And it was Say a Little Prayer that played. And it was just this moment that she starts singing, and before we call it a night, we are dancing. I mean, which was a wonderful... So every moment I thought about Aretha Franklin was positive. There were no tears. And you saw her funeral, which went on for like 10 hours.
Have you seen
There weren't a lot of tears there either.
Have you seen Amazing Grace?
No, I have not.
By now it's probably on Netflix or Amazon. When you have a couple of hours, watch it. It is very uplifting.
Yeah. I remember Ariana Grande did a little tribute, which was probably the more sentimental, because she was on with Jimmy Fallon, and I think she sang "Natural Woman," which she did a wonderful job. And I think that was like the most reverent. It's like. There was a great deal of heart there. But I would say Rick Ocasek, I mean, my immediate instinct was to start playing stuff from the Cars. But it was all upbeat. You weren't sad. Yeah. And, you knew this guy was a poet and a painter. And he was just a very talented guy. But I immediately wanted to play videos and listen to songs and all that. And it was all up. And of course, the video for Drive and the video for Magic, also wonderful. But this one was, I would say, the standout. if he has a signature thing. And I think it was last year that they were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And for them to do these songs, just I wish I could be in the audience there, because you could sense that this was huge. But, it is a wonderful legacy that when you see somebody's work like this, you're not sad that, we're going to be living in a world without him. Yeah. You're just enjoying the stuff that he brought.
And because that lives on.
That lives on.
That lives on.
That lives on. And I think it is a wonderful, wonderful legacy and something that's shared, because, like I said, you could have MTV Classics on, which actually is about music. Mm-hmm. That video comes on, people stop what they're doing, and they just take the time to watch and enjoy that video and go, wow. And it holds. It's very 80s, the colors, everything. The look is very 80s, but it's still like, wow. So a wonderful, wonderful legacy and a great part of TV history.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back. One more item. If you're starting a company, particularly one that is in an emerging market, you know that averting any sort of legal dispute is crucial to your business plan. Our friends at Tectonic Law offer an array of services that can help you avoid and preempt future litigation while also developing and protecting your intellectual property and intangible assets. Tectonic Law serves the needs of a host of emerging industries throughout California and beyond, including industrial designers, beverage makers, artists, farmers, retail stores, health practitioners, wellness experts, cosmetics manufacturers, nonprofit organizations, innovators in sustainable practices, and libraries. Go to tectoniclaw.com to learn more about how Tectonic Law can help your business thrive. tectoniclaw.com. Rock solid representation for groundbreaking industries.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay Area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
childhoodtelevision.blogspot.com, also storysalon.com, facebook.com/Story Salon. Donna's 4-part novel series, Fall Again, is available in its entirety at fallagainseries.com, while you can enjoy Tony Figueroa's standalone podcast This Week in TV History, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find audio. Joseph Doherty will join us. We come back for hour number 2 of TV Confidential. Please stay with us. Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to the TV Confidential podcast. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to the TV Confidential podcast, or better yet, give us a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or wherever you listen to our podcast.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50-pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-932-2613. 800-932-2613. That's 800-932-2613.